Hi everybody, welcome to Edupedia world. In this video, we will be learning 5 more kanjis. The first kanji which we are going to see is half. To write it correctly, please pay attention to the stroke order. There are totally 5 strokes to this kanji. This is the kanji for half. The Kunyomi reading of this kanji is Han, and there is no Onyomi reading to this kanji. The meaning of this kanji is half. Now let's see how to remember this kanji. The kanji can be related to this image. We are trying to cut 3 lines, but however only the first line is cut, and this is the knife, which is actually the 5th stroke or the last stroke of this kanji. Now is that not easy to remember? The next kanji which we are going to see is sword. To write it correctly, please pay attention to the stroke order. There are only 2 strokes to this kanji. This is the first stroke and this is the second stroke. The Kunyomi reading of this kanji is To. The Onyomi reading of this kanji is Katana, which means sword. Now let's see how to remember this kanji. This is actually the shape of a sword or knife. This is actually the first stroke which you can relate to the kanji, and this is the second stroke. Now is that not easy to remember? The next kanji which we are going to see is above or up. To write it correctly, please pay attention to the stroke order. There are 3 strokes to this kanji. This is the kanji for up. The Kunyomi readings of this kanji are Jo or Sho, and the Onyomi reading of this kanji is Ue, which means up. Now let's see how to remember this kanji. Remembering this kanji can be related to the kanji itself. This line is just above this line, so which means up or above. Now is that not easy to remember? Now that we have seen the kanji for up, the next kanji which we are going to see is down. To write it correctly, please pay attention to the stroke order. Here again there are 3 strokes to this kanji. So this is the kanji for down. The Kunyomi readings of this kanji are Ka or Ge, and the Onyomi reading of this kanji is Shita, which means down. Now let's see how to remember this kanji. Just like we made the relevance for the kanji up, the same relevance can be made here to remember this kanji. This line is below this line, and hence it becomes down or below. We are just left with one more kanji. The last kanji which we are going to see is center or middle. To write it correctly, please pay attention to the stroke order. There are totally 4 strokes to this kanji. This is the kanji for center. The Kunyomi reading of this kanji is chu, and the Onyomi reading of this kanji is naka, which means middle or center. Now let's see how to remember this kanji. Here comes the center of a circle, and that gives naka. Now is that not easy to remember? This is the first stroke, this becomes the second stroke, this is the third stroke, and the straight line is the last stroke of this kanji. That's it for today. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.